Luke 12. 41-44. In the earlier illustration, the Master obviously refers to Jesus, the Son of Man. Logically, the faithful steward involves men who are part of the little flock and who will be given the kingdom. Luke 12. 32. Here Jesus is saying that certain members of this group will be giving his body of attendants their sustenance, their measure of food or supplies at the proper time. So Peter and the other disciples whom Jesus is teaching and feeding spiritually can conclude that there will be a future period during which the Son of Man will come. And in that period, there will be a functioning arrangement for the spiritual feeding of Jesus' followers, the Master's body of attendants. Jesus emphasizes in another way why his disciples need to be alert and to give attention to their attitude. That is because it is possible to grow lax and even go to the point of opposing one's fellows. But if ever that slave should say in his heart, "My master delays coming," and starts to beat the male and female servants and to eat and drink and get drunk, the master of that slave will come on a day that he is not expecting him and at an hour that he does not know, and he will punish him with the greatest severity and assign him apart with the unfaithful ones. Luke 12. 45, 46. Jesus says that he has come to start a fire on the earth. And he has, raising issues. Keep ready, faithful steward. Luke 12. 35-59, 182. That cause great heat of controversy and result in the consuming of false teachings and traditions. This even separates individuals who might be expected to be united, dividing father against son and son against father, mother against daughter and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. Luke 12. 49, 53. These comments have been especially for his disciples. Then Jesus turns to the crowds. Most of the people have stubbornly refused to accept the evidence that he is the Messiah, so he tells them. When you see a cloud rising in the west, at once you say, "A storm is coming," and it happens. And when you see that a south wind is blowing, you say, "There will be a heat wave," and it occurs. Hypocrites, you know how to examine the appearance of earth and sky, but why do you not know how to examine this particular time? Luke 12. 54-56. They clearly are not ready. The faithful steward must keep ready. Jesus comes to create division. Who is the master, and who is the faithful steward? Why can the disciples conclude that there will be a faithful steward in the future, and what is this steward's role? Why is Jesus' counsel to keep ready so important? 78, 183. Jesus has tried in many ways to move the people to think about their standing with God. Another occasion arises after his discussion with people outside the house of a Pharisee. Some of them mention a tragic event. They speak about the Galileans whose blood the Roman governor Pontius Pilate had mixed with their sacrifices. Luke 13. 1. What do they mean? Perhaps these Galileans were the ones killed when thousands of Jews protested Pilate's use of money from the temple treasury to construct an aqueduct to bring water into Jerusalem. Pilate may have acquired the money with the cooperation of the temple authorities. Those relating this tragedy may feel that the Galileans suffered the calamity because they were guilty of wicked deeds. Jesus disagrees. He asks, "Do you think that those Galileans were worse sinners than all other Galileans, because they have suffered these things?" His answer is no. But he uses the incident to warn the Jews. Unless you repent, you will all likewise be destroyed. Luke 13. 2, 3. Jesus then refers to another tragedy that may have occurred recently and may have been related to the construction of that aqueduct, asking, "Those 18 on whom the tower in Siloam fell, killing them. Do you think that they had greater guilt than all other men who live in Jerusalem?" Luke 13. For the crowd may feel that those individuals died because of some personal badness. Again Jesus disagrees. He knows that time and unexpected events happen and are likely responsible for this tragedy too. Ecclesiastes 9. 11. The people, though, should take a lesson from the event. Unless you repent, you will all be destroyed, as they were, Jesus says. Luke 13. 5. But why is he stressing this lesson now? It has to do with where he is in the course of his ministry, and he illustrates the matter this way. A man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came looking for fruit on it but found none. Then he said to the vinedresser, "Here it is 3 years that I